What's up? It's your boy Mighty Cuts, and as you can see, that's the before, and then that's gonna be the after. Let's get straight to the tutorial. Come on, let's go. So I go and start with my trimmers just to set in that guideline. I'm trying to be as neat as possible because remember, the more neat you are with your guidelines, that's gonna reflect on your face. So if you're pretty neat, your fade should come out pretty nice as well. If you're pretty messy with your guidelines, then your fade will come out with the little discrepancies, and it's gonna cause for you to do a little bit more detailing. So we start cleaning up the hair below that first guideline, and since it is a drop fade, I am dropping I put like a curve to that first guideline, and when I put that first guideline, that I'm gonna follow that curve throughout the fade in my other guidelines as well, and I will show you guys as I'm doing the fade as well. So I'm just cleaning up the hair right under, get it as clean as possible, and remember, just glide the trimmer on the skin. Try not to press too much. Try not to do too much. You know, the machines that you're using are made to cut hair, so just let them do what they do. Just glide them across the skin. That way you don't irritate it, and then it gets, you know, it kind of irritates the client a little bit. You wanna be able to have them get their hair cut and, you know, feel as comfortable as possible. So after that, I'm using my shaver. Same thing again, same concept. Just let it glide, on their skin. That way it's not creating any irritations. Plus, if you have, for example, a Babyliss shaver, Gamma, Andis, Wall, those are all, they're 5-star tools. You know, they're made to cut hair. So just let them glide, they'll do the job. And then I will start going in there with my, it's gonna be lever open. I am gonna do a different technique today. Not too different, it's just in different form basically. So instead of fading up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my guidelines and then fade down. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my no guard open and about a finger's width length. Oh, I said that wrong. Fingers length guideline. All right, so then I'm gonna go in there with my 1.5. So the 1.5 is basically, it kind of sets how high I want to go with the fade. And remember, you got to flick out. That is why I'm doing it this way, because this is another way where if you're doing a low fade, you want to keep your fade a little tighter, or you want to kind of keep a guideline as to like where you're going to be how high you want to go. You want to go with the 1.5, set how high you want to go, and from there. So I went in there open, and then I followed it up with 1.5 halfway. And then if you've been watching, it's the same concept, but now I'm fading down, so I'm gonna follow it up with the number 1. So it's a 1.5, 1.5 halfway, number 1 open. Then I should go with the number 1 halfway, as you can see right there, lever halfway. And what's in between the no guard and the number 1 is gonna be the 0.5, so that will be our next guideline. But I believe I go halfway, and I believe I'm gonna close it all the way. Let's see. Oh, no, I go straight, I skip that close, because I could basically just get rid of that with my half guard open. So I'm just flicking up, boom, boom, boom. Then I'm gonna go halfway right after, right below that. And remember, these guidelines, it's all a numbers game. If you've been watching all my videos, I explain a little bit more in the other videos. It's just a numbers game, whether you're going up or down. If you're fading down, you're gonna start lowering the numbers. If you're going up, you're gonna start increasing the numbers. So right here, I have it closed all the way, and I'm just kind of hitting the corners wherever I see any darknesses. And when I fade out the most bottom line, that's when discrepancies will start popping out up top, and that's when I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up. So I go in I'm gonna go in there close, and I start opening up the blade as it starts blending into the top. And I'm doing it by section. I'm doing like towards the mastoid area, and then I'm gonna start doing the more temple area. So here's where you can see a little bit closer. So I close it up, and then I open it up a little bit, about quarter length. Boom. Then I'm gonna go halfway. There you go. And as you can see, it starts fading in a little bit, but obviously we want to be the best, so we start opening up a little bit more, flicking up. You don't want to create another guideline. And then I'm gonna go all the way open, and that's when I kind of put it all together. And as you can see, like I said, Once I fade in the most bottom line, the trimmer one, then more discrepancies start popping out. So I go in with my number 1. I kind of see a little darknesses right there. And then I am going to go with my number 2 to blend it up all the way to the top. Alright, so we're going to use my trimmers just to kind of blend it a little bit more in between that trimmers and the shaver. Get a little bit of a smoother blend. You can see, look at me already detailing. I be seeing discrepancies and I go straight to it. Alright, so we're going to go with my number 2, and this is to blend up all the way to the top. So I'm really flicking out. And look, you're going to see I shouldn't have done this step. There's right here where I think I closed it all the way, or I closed it up a little bit more. I should have just gone straight to the 1.5. Because it did create a little bit more of, it made it a little harder for me to detail. But, you know, we still got it through. Like I said, it's a numbers game. So once you get it down, you're going to get it down. So now I go with the 1.5 open, hitting it right below the number 2. As you can see, there's a little bit of darkness in between the 1.5 and the 2. So that's why I'm hitting it right there with that one. And just flicking up. And I start playing with the lever as well. So now I'm halfway with the lever. And what's below this one? If I'm cleaning up, what's going to be below this one is going to be my, well, I went right back up to my number 2. But if I kept moving down below the 1.5 halfway, I would use my number 1 open. You see how there's still a bit of darkness is right there? I could have gone straight to my 1.5 open, but in the moment I didn't see it because I was already blending. So I was like, let me just go straight to getting that C cup. So I start doing the C cup just so I could kind of get my eyes off of the fade. Because sometimes when you start looking at the fade for too long, your eyes get accumulated to that. So you need to take your eyes off of it a little bit. Went to that C cup, you know, just trying to get the natural C cup on there, make it look clean. Then I will go right back to the fade. As you can see, I'm like right now, I'm right there just staring at it. All right, cool. I think I see the darknesses where I need to hit it. So I'm just kind of observing it. Once I take my eyes off of it, I go in there with the shavers, get my eyes off a little bit more. Then we're going to go straight to it right now. So clip over comb. Just make sure that everything's blended up. And when I do clip over comb, I do leave my lever open. I mentioned in my previous videos where if you go with the clipper, with the comb, flare it out a little bit, and then you go in with your clipper open, it basically accumulates to a number 2. So I'm just making sure everything's blending up on top right before I go below and start trying to blend everything in. So as you can see, that's our foundation, and we're going to start detailing now. I believe I'm going to go in there with the number 2. Which, in my eyes, that was a waste of time. I think if I would have just gone in there with the number 1, I would have just blended it in right away, and then I could have kept moving. But, you know, we're playing it safe. So then we got the 1.5 going right below. Go halfway. And this is where you're going to see what I mean. So I'm halfway right now, right? Then I'm going to follow it up with the number 1. I believe the number 1 just kind of brings it all together. So as you can see, this it's a little bit better, but the number 1 is really going to ba-boom right there. Should have just done that. And then just play with the lever right there with the number 1. You guys see that, how I made it a little bit more blurry? So I'm a little bit halfway. And I'm just flicking up into it. If I really wanted to, I could have followed it up with the half guard. Which I don't know, maybe I do that. Who knows? But oh, I go with the 1.5. I see a little bit of darkness is right up there. So there we go. That's the fade right there on that side. And I only did the tutorial on one side. That way, it doesn't create a long video. But let me know if you guys want the full videos where I'm showing the fade and you know, on one side and then on the other side and in the back, let me know. The tutorials will be a little longer, but that's fine, you know. So now let's get straight into the scissor work. So since I am creating a textured look up top, I'm gonna wet the hair a little bit, and I'm gonna go like across the hair with my scissors. Just kind of, I'm not gonna close the scissors all the way. Look, check it out. So I'm just closing it halfway and just going across it. I don't want to cut off too much. It's just to give it more of a textured look. And we just want to just kind of like leave it so that it gives it like a little shaggy look. So that's how I'm doing it. And the hair should be wet. That way when you are closing it halfway, it's not cutting too much, but it's just kind of gliding through it, you know. So now I go the other way. And as you can see, I'm not cutting too much, just a little bit, just kind of gliding through, just giving it texture across the tips. And there I go. And then I'm gonna go right back to the crown area just because I feel like I missed a guideline there. There you go. Believe me, this, it seems like it's not doing a lot, but it definitely gives it a nice texture look. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and point cut it. Boom, 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 boom. Just point cutting across. And as you can notice, I start slicing on the way back up. If I slice going down, I'm gonna cut my fingers. So I go down and then I start slicing on the way back up because I know it's going right back up and it's not gonna slice my finger. So now I'm gonna go to the other side of the head. I'm slicing on the way back up, just kind of point cutting it, you know, giving it that messy crop look. That way when I dry it and then I put the powder on there, it looks pretty dope. So what I do to style it, I didn't show, and I wish I would have recorded, I forgot. So I put styling powder. So I dry the hair combing forward, then I put styling powder, then I put the Pasino's matte clay, and just to give it a hold, I'm gonna put the hairspray. I will record it next time, but this is the final look after I did all of that. This is the side look right here. I wish I would have took a better picture, but it looks pretty cool. And then the front, that's it is. It's your boy Marty Cut. Subscribe, like it up, and then I will be posting more videos like this. And I definitely do need to post a video where I am showing how I style it, how I twist it up after I put the clay. That way you guys can see.